Tonight on the South Today, towns and cities across the south host a range of events to mark a sunny Te Rā o Waitangi Day. Bikers battle blustery weather in Southland for a vintage bike rally as a warm-up to something bigger. And a New Zealand woman's shorn her way into the record books, bracing some extreme heat during her attempt. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. Hundreds gathered at a Dunedin Marae for a Waitangi Day celebration yesterday. The Ngai Tahu Treaty Festival was filled with celebrations, performances and food, with one underlying theme of the day tying it all together.
The sounds of the karaka echo through the marae grounds, signalling the start of the pōwhiri. The Ngai Tahu Treaty Festival was held at the Otakou Marae yesterday to celebrate the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi in 1840. The festival is held in a 3-year rotation with other marae in the different locations the treaty was signed. Otakou saw hundreds of people turn up for the event, marking a record number for the celebrations.
And each time it's got bigger. Weather's been on our side each time, of course, but we have been building our infrastructure to cope with these occasions more so than it was 20 odd years ago when we started.
The theme behind the day was based around a double-hulled waka, which Alison says is about bringing people together and working as one.
So the theme is about that partnership. How do you build that, strengthen that, steady the journey so that it's safe for all and we're achieving good things when it's done well.
Visitors were able to enjoy a day of entertainment filled with performances and craft stalls while taking in a piece of local history. In Dunedin, the South Today.
And in Queenstown, it was the first official Waitangi Day celebrations run by Mana Tahuna in the city. The charitable trust was created just after the COVID-19 pandemic and yesterday organised Queenstown's inaugural Te Rā o Waitangi.
Getting the bread rolls out and frying the whitebait patties as locals headed to the Queenstown Gardens for Waitangi Day. The day was a collaboration between the charitable trust Mana Tahuna and the Queenstown Lakes District Council, with plenty of music, games and poi practice taking place, all to acknowledge Māori culture. The Waitangi Day celebration in Queenstown initially started off as the Reggae in the Gardens event 20 years ago, as the Webster whānau wanted to commemorate the signing of Te Tiriti o Waitangi and musician Bob Marley's birthday, with the original organisers back on board for this year's event. Hundreds of people came along for the day, with the event doubling up as a fundraiser for local sports groups and organisations. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Bikers from around the country battled against the Southland weather to attend a premier rally. The National Vintage Bike Rally was held in Invercargill over the weekend, set up as a prelude for the Burt Munro Challenge.
Standing around in awe, admiring the vintage bikes parked up after a day of riding. It was Invercargill's turn to host the National Vintage Motorcycle Rally over the long weekend. The rally saw around 130 entrants from all over the country and 3 from Australia come down south for the Burt Munro Challenge prelude, which gets into gear tomorrow. Riders had to battle the wind and rain while competing on Sunday, the blustery weather a stark contrast compared to the previous day's 32-degree heat. After dealing with the poor conditions, everyone met up at the Riverton Rugby Grounds for lunch, also giving the public a chance to take a look at the vintage lineup. In Invercargill, the South Today.
And while en route to the rally, a notorious gang was stopped by police in Christchurch. Around 60 tribesmen MC gang members were seen travelling from the top of the North Island all the way down to Invercargill to take part in the Burt Munro Challenge. They'd planned a patching ceremony in Christchurch before continuing on to the rally. As they motored down State Highway 1 through North Canterbury, they were stopped at a scheduled police checkpoint around 1 a.m. on Friday. During the stop, 6 motorbikes were impounded, while a number of tickets were also written up. After the issues were dealt with, all riders were let go to continue on their trip. A world record result was celebrated with a barbecue and beers at the weekend in northern Southland. Shearer Sacha Bond had been training hard, ready to attempt a women's solo record breaker performance.
A woolly world record attempt achieved in style. Sacha Bond was up early on Saturday morning as she attempted to break the women's record for the most strong wool lambs shorn in 8 hours. Starting at 7 AM at Southland's Fairlight Station, about 45 minutes south of Queenstown, Bond was eyeing up the record of 110 lambs held by Canada's Pauline Beaulais. The New Zealand-born shearer managed to smash through that target with more than an hour to go, shearing a lamb every 50-odd seconds to set a new benchmark of 601 lambs across the day.
Thank you so much for coming today and supporting me in such a significant way. Today has been a day of ups and downs. I really had to dig deep just to get through, and I couldn't have achieved it without the help from each and every one of you cheering me on.
Bond achieved the new record despite smouldering temperatures of 31 degrees inside the shed, as more than 50 relatives, friends and supporters cheered her on. She says that she's been working and training hard leading up to the attempt, spending 6 days in the gym and doing a lot of shearing work to help build both mental and physical strength. The world record attempt was broken up into 4 stages, each with 2-hour non-stop runs, followed by a break similar to a standard working day. Sacha Bond achieved a consistent pace throughout the day, shearing 150 lambs in each run, before finishing off her final block with 151 lambs to seal the effort. In Fairlight, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. Gore locals battle the weekend heat at the annual AMP show, and dreams come true for a special group of Southlands kids as they explore their region from the skies.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency, and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Hi, we're a concerned Otago.
Age Concerned Otago hosts a multitude of social activities,
Including little bobs.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Earth is a planet of extremes. Extreme places and extreme animals. But some animals are more extreme than others. Join us as we count down to find the most unusual, the most extraordinary, the most extreme.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. Scorching weather in Gore didn't deter the locals or their livestock from turning out for the annual AMP show. Temperatures in the mid-30s made for hard work parading the animals, but judges were more worried about the flower arrangers.
A sure way to break out a sweat, wood chopping competitors slugged it out in the heat at the local Gore AMP show on Saturday. More than 400 cows and 300 sheep didn't seem bothered by the hot weather, although the mayor admitted he was sweating under his chains.
I think everyone here is melting. I hope people can stick it to the end, to the grand parade, before they go in for maybe a swim or something, some cold water.
The parades and demonstrations were well attended and there was enough shade to keep at least some of the entrants cool. The show's organisers did worry if local gardeners would be able to table their entries given the blazing temperatures.
A blessing with the flowers because it's been such different weather that, yeah, we weren't sure if we would get much in the way of flowers, but no, it's been good. Jane Forbes from Waimumu won the award for Champion Lily, despite her garden getting flattened by wild winds a fortnight ago. In Gore, the South Today.
A group of Southlands kids and their families hopped aboard an Air New Zealand plane recently for a scenic trip across the South Island. It was a dream come true for the young passengers, some of whom had never been on a plane before.
Putting on a warm welcome at Invercargill Airport, some of these children have spent more time in hospital than they have on holiday. The Koru Care charity aims to change that. They arrange an annual trip of a lifetime for children with chronic health issues. In the past, the group have arranged holidays to Australia and the United States, but since the COVID-19 pandemic, they've been staying closer to home.
We've got a bit of a picnic here, and then we're going away on an Air New Zealand plane for an hour around Southland and Otago and in the lakes, and just give them a wee experience of flying, and because some of these kids have never been on a plane before.
The Koru Care group volunteer their time for free, and support from Air New Zealand makes it possible for the children's families to join in the experience too.
And for the families too, it's a huge opportunity for them to share it with the rest of the family. They're often busy with the child that's suffering the illness or has the chronic conditions.
The scenic tour was a huge hit with the kids, and Koru Care hope more sponsors might come on board to help the children make more magic memories in the future. In Invercargill, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. The Ngai Tahu Treaty Festival was held at the Otakou Marae, commemorating the South's signing of the Treaty of Waitangi. National Vintage Bike Rally was held in Invercargill as the town gets ready to host the Burt Munro Challenge. And 29-year-old Sacha Bond smashed the women's world record for most strong wool lambs shorn in 8 hours with time to spare. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the editor Barry Stewart. Hi there, Barry.
Hello, Hannah.
What can we expect to read tomorrow?
Well, a Dunedin Hill suburb is set for a major expansion as new rules unlock land for up to 1,000 new homes across the city.
Wow, that's significant.
In the long-term plan. So yeah, exciting opportunities there. And it's official, we've mentioned it before, but the All Blacks are playing the Wallabies in a test match in Dunedin on Saturday, August 5. But the good news is it's a afternoon kickoff.
Oh, great.
Back old school, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2:35. So that's a nice change.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it in with a big marker.
August 5. So, yeah, it could be a big weekend, couldn't it? So, and on our fresh pages, we offer some inspiration for Valentine's Day with some easy sweet treats. So don't say you weren't warned. And New Zealand's greatest golfer, Bob Charles, will be in town tomorrow at St Clair, playing in a Legends tournament, but he also is aiming to promote the game.
Fantastic. All right, we look forward to reading the paper tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Barry. And time now for a look at tomorrow's weather.
The South Today weather, proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, cooler southwesterly airflow will bring a few showers to the south coast tomorrow and Thursday, but mostly dry weather everywhere else. Heading to the top of the South Island, fine with light winds and 26 up in Nelson tomorrow, 21 with some cloud and southwesterlies over in Greymouth, while Christchurch lies somewhere in the middle with a high of 23, changing winds and a spot of cloud. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. A cloudy 23 in Ashburton tomorrow. Timaru is much the same with southwesterlies and a high of 21. And as we head south slightly to Oamaru, expect a fresh 19-degree day. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Mostly fine with southwesterlies through here tomorrow. Wanaka and Alexandra head for 21, with Queenstown just behind with a high of 20 degrees. Heading further south, expect fresh southwesterlies and a few showers through here tomorrow, with a neat 16 degrees all around for Barclutha and Gore and the Catlins. And down to the deep south, cloudy tonight with a low of 9 degrees. The next 2 days are looking mostly cloudy with some showers and southwesterly winds, along with highs of 15 or 16 degrees. And finally, heading to Dunedin. Fine tonight as the winds die out and down to 10 as the low. Tomorrow's looking mostly fine and sunny with cloud at times and gusty afternoon winds, the high 18 degrees. Then mostly cloudy and a little cooler on Thursday. Short week with breezy southwesterlies and a top temperature of 17 degrees. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. We'll be back again tomorrow. Ka kite ia pōpō.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.